Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people around the community. And today, my guest, he's been in the news a lot lately. His name is Josh Leggett, Conneaut High School senior. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you aboard. Talked to Josh a few weeks ago about coming on because there's so many interesting things about Josh Leggett. But let's start back in the fall. You played soccer for the Conneaut Spartans.
Yes.
And I remember at the time you got an injury during the soccer season. Was it like in the middle of the season or the beginning?
So we're really well. I knew this was going to be my year. I had top prospects to go places and etc. And so it was our second game, I believe it was. We won our first two games, and then we were going to Girard. September 11th, I believe, was the day. And not even like 2 minutes in the game, I was on a breakaway, ready to score, and the goalie came in at a weird angle, hyperextended my knee completely. So it was early in the season,
And
third game.
you missed the entire soccer season. Was there
Yes.
ever a threat at that time that you would even miss the spring sport?
Yeah, so we're looking at September-ish. When I went in to see Dr. Seeds, he said I'd be out towards like 4 to 8 months.
Ooh,
So
that made your heart sink.
really, yeah, that got me really like right in the heart. And then so I was like, what about track and everything? He said, well, that's gonna take some time. Like just the way it got injured, you're gonna be out for a while unless you really put in hard work. And so I took him at the challenge, and I was back indoors competing in December, end of December, January.
That was great
So,
to
yes.
have that kind of a recovery. Now, you had told me that the school you said was Girard when you got the injury?
Yes.
That the opposing player actually said, tell everybody what he said to you when he injured you.
So going into the game, our coach came up to us and he was like, I hope you guys know, like, their parents and everyone's saying you can take these guys out. Like, this is free for all, basically. And so when I went to take this shot and the goalie took me out, he said, glad we got you out of here. And a couple of the other players mentioned some side notes, and it really got to me because, like, a soccer game, if you're willing to take out someone and like end their career, that's awful. Like, who does that? Like, that's not right. So when I was laying down and the paramedics and everything were over, the coach was on the sideline saying, just get him off the field. Nothing's wrong with him. And it was awful. The coach was disrespectful and everything. And then a couple games later, he came up to me and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, acting like as if nothing happened. Like, he knew what he was entitled to do.
Did you respond to him?
No, I just kept a straight face. I was like, well, thank you. And I was being the bigger man, and it was nice seeing that other teams saw the impact it did have on me and everything. And the coach later on in the end of the year, we kind of had like a one-on-one talk, and he's like, is that really what happened? I was like, yeah, that's what happened. And he was a little more open with it, and he's like, I'm very sorry and everything on that line. But yeah.
That certainly goes all against good sportsmanship, doesn't
Yes.
it? It's just unbelievable when you told me that story. Bad enough getting injured, and then somebody coming like that and saying, oh, good, we knocked you out or something like that. How did the rest of that match turn out? Did we win the game?
I believe it was like a 4-3 loss.
4-3 loss?
But our team scored like a minute after that. Like, it was remarkable. I was happy and everything. But it was a huge deficit on our team.
So who replaced you for the rest of the year?
Honestly, that is a great question.
Multiple people?
Yeah, so they just changed up the lineup, see what would work in different scenarios, and there was never one set key person. So with the other seniors that I participated throughout my 4 years, which were Brock and Spencer, we grew like this nice alliance so that we could control the up forward positions. When I dropped out, that really hurt everybody because like I was one of the top scorers on the team. So losing that really put a huge barrier for the whole team. So we put in Blaine McLaughlin. He came in, he did excellent. He was scoring some goals, and then he kept trying other people. And unfortunately, we couldn't really set down that one person. But
When you said Spencer, you meant short figure?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
and Brock Farley.
Speaking of Spencer Schwartfigure and the rest of you guys who are seniors, especially in the boys class, I've gone on record as saying I think athletic-wise, this has been one group of seniors that I think is going to be hard to top.
Yeah.
Before you guys and after you guys, you may not all be the best in talent at what you do, but you guys all have character and you guys all have determination. I saw it on the football field. I especially saw it on the basketball team, which didn't do very well. But those boys, the senior boys, the three of them, never gave up.
No.
What's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, my class, I gotta say, is the most character like personnel ever. Like I love it. I'm proud of everyone because like everyone's a family. No one lets one person down. Yeah, there's some hiccups in the way, but in the long run, we're all there for each other. And another thing is like when I got injured, all my friends were there for me. Like that doesn't always happen. And they were always positive. They were like, you can do this. And like for instance, they were very supportive when I went to the state meet. They were all like, good luck. And some of them actually showed up. So that made me feel even better. And just like some of my friends that I just mentioned, they have the biggest hearts I've ever met. Like they will go out of their way for you. And when it comes to when I was on the soccer field with them, they had a lot of heart. Like they gave everyone respect like they would like to be treated as well. So that really says a lot. We may not be the best athletes, but overall, as a genuine person, I think we are the best athletes.
It's like I don't even want to mention one of the names because I don't want to. They're all equal to me. They're all equal in what they do.
Exactly. And then on top of that, so at practice yesterday, we had practice for track with Edgewood. And going back to that characteristic aspect, we were doing races, and so Coach Denny, he likes to do something different. The people Denny D, yes.
Smiling Denny, always with a smile.
Yes. So the way he does things is if you come in first, that first person has to do extra work. So he says top 1% will excel because I'm going to do more work because they want to exceed. So we got down the winners and the whole team joined. Like no other team would do that.
Amazing.
Yes. And then so when I was doing my lunges, like jump squats, I look over to look at the one Edgewood person that won. None of that team was participating, but you saw all of Conneaut together.
That's great. That's just great. Josh, was it something that's always been like since freshman, or is it something that's developed as you guys matured into seniors, do you think? This continuity.
So I feel like over the years, we've grown a lot significantly, especially because when we came into the high school, we had people like Troy and Levi Stewart and all of them to look up to, and you really grow that relationship. And then when it ends, you are the big guy now. And so that mentally prepares you to get stronger and develop that characteristic of you're the one in the hot spot now. People look up to you. So I would say yes, like growing in maturity really helped. and enabled everyone to really look at life differently, which I was happy about.
Such a great class. Josh Leggett, my guest, Conneaut High School senior. Josh, you recovered from that injury, like you said, very well, and was able then to win so well that you were able to win a state championship in long jump at the Spire, I believe in February it was. Tell us the thrill that was like, and also, nice article on you in the Star Beacon the other day, that your coach wasn't there, right? And you were feeling a little bit stressed out. Tell us the feeling of winning the state championship and your coach not being there.
All right, so this is how the day went. I got to the Spire, and I call up my coach, Levi Stewart. I was like, hey, where are you at and everything? And it was insane how many people there were. The whole, like, Route 90 was backed up for the Spire.
Really?
Yeah, it was backed up. So he was running late, and I had to get ready for my entry to, like, prepare. And I thought I couldn't go in and train without my coach, because that's what the security guy said. So I'm standing there, I'm like, oh, where's coach and everything? And so I did some of the little work for him. And then so when he got there, I had 10 or 15 minutes before I had to jump. So we get there, coach is in, so we start warming up. And my friend Matt McBride, also a great runner, he was supposed to run that day. He said, well, Josh, I can't run today. I was like, oh, this is devastating. So that hit me too. So I have the late guy, then I have my best friends not running. So that hurt really bad. I was like, oh. So more anxiety is building up. And so when we're running around, there was like 30 plus jumpers or something. So I was seated 7th overall for Division 2 and 3. I kept saying to myself, all right, 21 and you'll be happy, guy. You got this today. Just jump 21. My PR last year was 21.2. I was like, it's a good high goal, but I know it's achievable. So I'm warming up, and I really took like pride into my warm-ups. I did them exactly how I was supposed to. And the key thing that Gabe Cellini, my previous coach, he said, go until you're sweating. So that's when I knew that I was ready to jump. So I went out, and my first 2 jumps, I beat my PRs, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I scratched on my next 3 jumps, 1 at the end and 2 of my finals. And that really upset me because I was nervous now. I'm like, I cannot believe I made it into the finals and I'm not doing as good.
It's that character and that determination
Yes.
we were talking about, Josh.
Mm-hmm. And then so when I was on the runway, I looked up and I saw my family and I saw my coach, and then I saw my trainer, Charlie Powell, who trains me at the Spire. I saw him, and he's just walking by, glancing at me, and I was like, oh, I know what to do. I know how to fix this. He said, just take it back 1 foot, and you'll be able to make that jump. So I moved it back a foot. I was on the runway. I was looking at it, and I ran. I jumped, and it was more than I expected, and I was happy with that.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Representing the Conneaut Spartans like that, and getting us a state championship. Sports is not all that Josh does, though. Josh is very good in academics as well. I think in the last 9 weeks grading period, you had a 4.0.
Yes.
And you told me about a week ago or so that you're currently in this week at a 3.95.
Yes.
With your athletics, how do you keep up your studies?
Oh, it's a challenge because I wake up, I go to school. Some days depending on the time of the year, I have soccer or track, and then I go to work. And when I get home from work, probably about like 10, I do only an hour. So I know that 10 to 11 period is my study time. So I'll do concentrated studies right then, and then I'll go to bed. And then if I missed it, I'll make up in study hall the next day. But honestly, it's hard to juggle it. So time is crucial. So when I get out of school, I know I got to get these things done in order to go to bed at a reasonable hour. And on top of that is another thing. So calculus, it's a hard class. And so
No thank you.
so I knew that this was going to be a challenge. And so I brought it upon myself, and I go every morning to get tutored. And I get an A. I have an A in there right now.
Outstanding.
And it's just a hard work. You got to put in the tutoring when you need it, because everyone needs tutored if you're struggling. So
That's another thing about the senior athletes we're talking about, at least for the boys' side. They're all pretty good academically too, aren't they?
Yes, they
Every
are.
one of them.
Yes, they
I
are.
think there's I think it counted like 12 between the football, basketball, and the other sports. Some of the football players I think are playing baseball right now,
Yes,
like
they
Jonathan West and those guys.
Nathan Payfall.
Also, Josh, you were nominated and elected to go to the Naval Academy
Yes.
in early 2018. Let's talk about it.
So I so everything started a couple years ago, my freshman or sophomore year, one of the two. I went and I signed up for summer seminar. It's a huge poll. I thought, why not try it out? I didn't get in, but I did get candidate visit weekend at the academy. It was the first time I've been to academy. My legal guardian, Taylor Cleveland, brought it up to me. He said, I wonder if you would be interested in doing this. And I was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, personally, why do you think I should go here? And he told me, because you're a leader and you have good characteristics, and I think you would excel there. So I was like, all right, so I'll do that. So I, honest to God, didn't think about much of college-wise, but I knew I would go for him to look at this school. So we go there, and it was 3 days, 2 nights, and it was a joy. Like, it was amazing. The people there are outstanding. Like, they go out of their way to help you, and they don't even know you. And that's what really drew me to the Naval Academy, is the fact that there's respect and the leadership is there. And I knew I wanted to be there. So I furthermore my process to it, and so I applied. And so the application process is very extensive and long, and so you have to get one nomination from a representative, so like David Joyce, or from the 2 senators, or the president or vice president. So I ended up getting all 3 interviews for the senators and the representative, and I received my actual nomination from Sherrod Brown. So very excellent guy. I love him. So when I received that invitation, like, hey, you're accepted, there was just shock. Like, it was like, that is one of the prestigious colleges to go to. And I was like, there's no way I actually got in. But Taylor looked at me. He's like, it's all done.
Yeah.
Like, the hard work's done.
So much good for Josh. More congratulations on that. But
Thank
the
you.
congratulations don't stop with you, Josh, because you were also won the Eagle of the Cross Award for the Diocese of Youngstown. Tell us what that award is for.
So the Eagle of the Cross is something that our church gave, and I was the winner. They opened it up to the juniors and seniors.
Oh, so it's not just seniors.
Correct.
Okay.
So now there's one other kid in our county that received it. His name is Justin. He goes to Edgewood. He's been going to our church recently, and
Met him at the youth group the other
yes, good kid. So in order to receive this award, you have to show that you're an active member, and like you have that true relationship that you propose in your religion and everything. So ours is Catholic. So I love actively being involved with the community. So that was one thing, if you're an active community member. Another is roles in the Catholic churches. And then the other one's just overall a good person. Like, those are three key essentials in order to win that award.
Let's face it, Josh, nowadays kids your age are not very active in their faith.
No.
Why are you?
So God was one of the biggest helps during my hard times growing up, and the key person that got me involved was Nick Prokosky, who is my godfather. He introduced me to youth group, and he started teaching me all the beliefs, and I knew that's what I believed. And so I started praying more, and I knew that when I prayed, I had someone there to help me through those hard times, and he answered. And so that's why it always stayed with me, and I want to further more my religion and all that.
And in this day and age with peer pressure, you never felt anything like that?
No. So I keep this on me all times. My godfather gave this to me when I got confirmed.
That's just outstanding.
This is Saint Sebastian. He's my saint. And so I never take this off. I always rub it when I go to sport events. And if it wasn't for like stuff like this, I couldn't get through it. Because it's a nice, like, it relaxes me because I know someone's there watching at all times.
Beautifully said. Josh, how did you come to Conneaut?
So growing up, it was very difficult. My dad left when I was born, and my mom was doing drugs for a little bit of time. So we were separated, and my uncle took us into care. So I grew up, and my uncle was my idol. He was everything. He was my father.
And this was where?
This was in Fostoria, Ohio.
Okay.
So
Where's
by
that
Sandusky.
located at? Okay.
So-
Northwest Ohio.
Yes.
Okay.
So I grew up having an excellent uncle. He was my father. He was the ideal image of a father because he was at every sporting event. He was at every practice. He was there. He taught me everything. And then one day, it just all went downhill, and he died of a heart aneurysm. And so that was a huge deficit. And so when that happened, we moved back in with my mom. So growing up, all I knew is she did the drugs for a while, and I didn't know what to expect. I kind of expected the worst, but I didn't, because I kept my eyes open. I knew that time can be the only factor. She may be doing well, I don't know, but I'll take her at her word. So we moved in with her, and so I lived with her. I moved in with her in 6th grade. So I moved to Conneaut in October of 6th grade, and I will say 6th grade to 8th grade, everything was wonderful. My mom was everything that I hoped. She was the best mom. She was there for me and everything. And then there was one day I was coming home from camping, and I received a text message from my little brother, Tyler McCurdy, saying, "Hey, mom's doing this." And I told her I can't allow that to happen. And so when that happened, that she did what I asked her not to do, or I would do something about it, she did it. And that really hurt me, because now I'm a freshman or sophomore, and I'm making one of the biggest decisions a kid should ever make, and that's to leave to benefit everyone. So I asked Taylor Cleveland if I could move in with him, and he said yes. And so I called Linda and Jack Pachowski if Tyler could live with them, and they were like, yes, I love Tyler. So Tyler's with them right now. Happiest kid ever.
Families in Conneaut.
Yes, excellent families. I love them both. Tyler went from being they're in a depressed state to one of the happiest kids you'll ever meet. He's on the football team now, excelling in his studies now. He's done a complete U-turn, so I'm very happy. And I'm doing well with the help of the Clevelands, and now my mom's doing well. She's been sober, she goes to classes.
What a wonderful story.
So yes, so we're doing all well. Like that one decision helped us all in the long run. So yes.
Very good, Josh. Thanks for sharing that story with
You're
us.
welcome.
It goes to show that it's sometimes, you know, you're able to develop into something really good despite not having being brought up good as much as you would like it in the past, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Trying to have a hard time getting that out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So a wonderful story, Josh, and a lot of congratulations to you and good luck at the Naval Academy and continued success. Thanks.
Thank you.
Josh Leggett, my guest on Around the Town with Chuck.